Hello there, Pepper Hernandez from drpepperhernandez.com, coming to you to talk to you about the cannabinoids. Now, today, if you've been watching these videos in a series, you'll know that we are now on THCV. THCV is a cannabinoid that is absolutely amazing. I actually love this one quite a bit. It helps with a few different ailments across the board. Different people who have chronic illness look for these things specifically, and that's why when we come down to the strains, I'll kind of talk to you a little bit more about which ones are bred appropriately for that. So appetite suppression, seizure suppression, bone growth promotion, blood sugar reduction. So your levels can be reduced by using this particular cannabinoid if you're looking for it in your cannabis. Again, if you're going to be doing it for these particular reasons, I would probably suggest, depending on who it was, the age, what are the other things that are going on with them, if they're taking synthetics, what other kind of supplements. I mean, it's really a detailed process of what you're going to suggest to a person or take on yourself. But really a tincture, just a little bit of a tincture that goes underneath your tongue, that could be the way to get this. Now, this is a THCV, which means it can be psychoactive. Now, not as much, of course, as the THC, but it can be psychoactive. So when you're doing this and when you're looking for this, if you were just doing it for like blood sugar reduction, for example, or I've used it for my seizure suppression, then that's just like a little bit of dropper under the tongue, not a concentrate, just a tincture form, right? Which is concentrate within a liquid. Now, if you're looking for concentrates within liquids, which would be a tincture form, really pay attention. Glycerin, not my favorite. It's better and it tastes better, but if you're using a lot of the tincture, the glycerin can definitely upset your stomach. I was using, and this was years and years ago, this was probably back in 2015, I was using a formulated it was a formulated tincture with like passion flower and lemon balm and a particular type of cannabis that at the time we didn't really know much about the cannabinoids, but it was a full spectrum flower, so I was getting this in that tincture. But this particular tincture, I was using quite a bit of it because of my nerves and because of my anxiety, and it just made me absolutely nauseous. It would make me so sick because I was just doing so much of it. I would just be doing droppers full of it. Now, it was very strong, so I didn't want to do any more. I didn't want to do a stronger dosage, but the fact that I was using it so often, I probably should have looked at finding something else, but it was really the only thing on the market, and it was, I live in Humboldt County, best cannabis in the world, and so I was supporting local farmers and mom and pops and people who were like bringing up products, and this product is still on the market and it's doing so well because of the consistency. Point being, with tinctures, which is it's a whole nother class on its own, by the way, that the medicine making class is a whole nother class on its own from the Cannabis Holistic Institute that we put together. But if you're going to look for a tincture for these particular things, obviously not a glycerin for blood sugar, right? And if you're coming off of, or you're not wanting to deal with alcohol extraction is probably not the best thing for you either. So I would suggest, just to safe cross board, the one that I'm using for seizures is an AC/DC strain that's in an MCT coconut oil. Whew, that one feels good to me. It's good on my stomach. I can take as much of it as I need to or as little as I need to. It's always consistent. It's perfect. It's organically grown. It's under 2% THC, or maybe under 3% THC. I think it's 2. And so it's non-psychoactive. I feel amazing, and it's super high in THCV as well as CBD. No, super high. I'm sorry. It has that component. It's not super high in it, but it has that component in it, right? It's only a certain percentage. So let's go down to the strains really quickly. Strains that are going to be high in THCV are going to be purple, or the pineapple purple, a Girl Scout cookie, the Dutch Treat Tangy, and right now this one is Doug's Baron or Varane. I should know the name of it. But this one is particularly bred to be a sativa that is high in THCV. Now, we don't have that around here right now as far as I know, so I've just done some research on it to figure out what was the highest in that. It's not something that our dispensaries locally carry, so that's probably why I don't really know. I'm not that familiar with the particular name of it, but I do know that they laser beam focused on creating a strain that was the highest in this particular cannabinoid. So there you go. That is THCV. Those are, let me see if there's anything else I want to tell you about that one. Oh, it does say that THCV is a more clear-headed psychedelic. So yeah, that one's definitely something you want to work on if you're getting a THCV that you really want to be high in THCV, but you don't want to be high in a sativa or one that's going to promote you like paranoia or like thinking a lot. It's just all these little pieces we have to focus on, and finding the right strain for you, for your ailment, for your discomfort that works with you is always the best, right? Whenever we're focusing on some of these strains that are psychoactive. Now, the non-psychoactive, they're so great for everyone, and I would suggest starting there first, right? Just baby stepping it, go little by little, because you can always add more. You can't take away when it comes to some of these. So if you're also, here's another little tip, if you're working with a THC, either a THCV, THCA is raw, and you're not going to get that psychoactive effect, but just a straight THC, and you get a little too out of balance, meaning you get a little altered, the best thing to do for you is to actually go and get a really clean CBD, maybe have a CBD tincture on hand or have a CBD concentrate on hand, and when you take that, it'll actually balance that out a little bit. The last thing is, Girl Scout cookie is a hybrid. The pineapple perp, as you can tell a lot as we're going to get to more of the strains and strain specifics, I'll be having like a little bit quick classes on that here on this feed. But when we get into those kind of things, it's like this one right here tells you that it's going to be a fruity strain, right? It tells you that. It kind of like tells you. So is the Dutch Treat. That's a fruity strain. Tangy, that's going to be a fruity strain. So remember on one of the other videos, I said if let your nose tell you what is good for you. If you smell something and it's gassy and that's not your jam, that doesn't smell good to you, it's probably not going to work so well for your brain and your body either. And it may be very high in the things that you want, but there are other strains that are going to be just the correct, perfect match for you, okay? The pineapple perp, that is more on the sativa side if we're categorizing it that. And I know that it's really not about sativa and indica. I know it's more about the cannabis fingerprint. But for those of you that are a little bit more on the old school, where you're looking at things as sativa and things as indica, the new frontier is that nothing is either one of them because everything's being so hybrided that it's more about being specific with the cannabis fingerprint, meaning all of the different cannabinoids and what those do, and then the terpenes and what those do, and just like really getting the right strain for you. So hopefully this has been helpful. Pepper Hernandez from drpepperhernandez.com. Go over to the Cannabis Holistic Institute, find out how you can be a part of our program and be connected to other cannabis therapy consultants around the world. We'll be back with another cannabinoid shortly. Bye-bye.